Hello and welcome back to Vox Terra, aka Hidden Agendas. A bill to compel the forced sale of TikTok recently passed the U.S. House of Representatives by an overwhelming majority. The parent company of TikTok is ByteDance, incorporated in China, and that is where its troubles begin. The threat from China is preached from pundits, politicians, the media, and teachers alike. The threat, unquestioned, taken as a given. But there were some notable and curious votes opposing the forced sale. Most of those coming from Democrats, more understandably the progressive Democrats like Khanna, Ilhan Omar, Pramila Jayapal. Perhaps seeing this as naked double standard. And then more curiously were some of the Republican votes against Matt Gaetz, Marjory Taylor Greene, often called MAGAs or Trumpers. And one of the loudest voices in the media for this forced sale has been former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin under President Donald Trump. And he has been putting together a team of investors to purchase TikTok once that forced sale is complete. Must be a fun life for Steve Mnuchin. Note, business, politics, political party, all connected. And with no irony, I have heard similar complaints in the media against ByteDance of its connections with Chinese politics, the vilified Communist Party. As Democracy Now! Noted, the author of this bill is Mike Gallagher, a large receiver of aid from AIPAC, or the American-Israeli Public Affairs Committee. And like with most things anti-China, this bill diverts from change at home, positive change at home. Social media, search engines, credit card companies, everything aggregating our data online. The internet itself now exposing so many of us, our privacy, making us vulnerable to, well, random weirdos. And I don't mean fun-loving weirdos like I hope you consider me to be. I mean more menacing, I'm going to shut that guy up kind of weirdos. Our personal data can be hacked. Our identity can be thefted. And we are all on a daily basis subjected to what's called manipulative and predictive analytics, trying to convince us to buy something or agree with something, and all of it largely aimed at defending the entrenched business interests, particularly notable in my show, fossil fuel petrochemicals. It ignores voices calling for actual solutions to our privacy, a real privacy bill of rights for the internet. And what about this threat that's always put to us as a given? Well, couldn't that also be flipped around, just going on what you know, what you've already seen within our media, yet it's just not laid out that way for you? What nation was it that sent drones to murder, or you prefer the word assassinate, Qasem Soleimani, the Iranian general? What if China had simply sent drones to assassinate a general of some other nation? Who has supported coups in Haiti and through so many places within the world? What if China did that? Who is currently arming and funding and offering logistical support to the war on Gaza? And which country has which almost encircled by military bases? And I also don't like this bill because, in my opinion, just these blanket anti-China mongering, or whatever you want to call it, drums up prejudice against people who look Asian. Think during the Trump administration, China, how he would say China, and Kung Flu. But as an aside, an interesting aside on Trump, he, who actually initially was promoting a forced sale of TikTok during his administration, recently, according to Democracy Now!, flipped on that issue, or flip-flopped, as people like to say about Democrats, after, according to Democracy Now!, meeting with this Republican billionaire donor by the name of Jeff Yaz, who owns a 15% share of ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok. Business ties all around. But back to China and Kung Flu. This forced sale just feels like a continuation of otherizing Asians or prejudice against them. To me, think about the Chinese Exclusion Act, so undertaught in our schools, something I never learned about in schools. Think the smashing of Japanese-made cars during the 80s as a demonstration of protest, and the murder of Vincent Chin, an Asian American during that same time period who I believe his murderers got away with it. And the assaults on people who look Asian within the US of A and other countries during the early stages of COVID. To me, this almost bizarre going from let's all invest in China to China's the enemy says this: China, it was great doing business with you. When you was allowing everybody to just dump pollution everywhere, you weren't regulating your economy, you weren't regulating your environment. Your labor costs were nice and cheap. But now that your labor costs have risen and you're cracking down on polluters, dare say, you're even making affordable electric vehicles. Well, now you're a threat. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting, been entertaining, some good food for thought, some merit to my arguments. And dare say, please do comment and let me know. Thank you for subscribing, and please do click that notification bell so you know when I'm putting up a new video. Like, comment, as I already said. And thank you to my patrons at Patreon, Bella Lagrusi and Environmental Coffee House. It'd be cool to get another because this show is a heck of a lot of work. And as always, until next time, peace be with you. Or should I say, 再见. That means goodbye, basically in Chinese, in case you didn't know that.